return to their dynamic duo, though. Brittany Griner sets the screen. Diana Taurasi, just a cold-hearted three here. She had 30 points in the game, and up 13-8. Then Taurasi comes off a screen from Griner, draws the foul, and flips it up with the left hand off glass. Watch this shot one more time. Diana Taurasi, just a superstar.
Hello, I'm your host, Lamar L.A. Smith, and welcome to another edition of Inside 380. Now, I know I've been telling you for weeks that I'm going to have a co-host, and I still plan on having a co-host, but there's a few kinks that I need to work out, and can't give you a definitive date, but I still plan on having a co-host. Now that we have that taken care of, let's get into our show slate. Now, our show slate will consist of Les Miles and his firing, and the end of the Big Three era in Miami, highlighting Chris Bosh, who may never play basketball again after having second blood clot this season, and doctors telling him that he probably won't play after failing his physical before training camp. Now, let's give you the 380 Player of the Week candidates, and then we'll start off with the first topic. 380 Player of the Week candidates start off with two-time reigning 380 Player of the Week, Lamar Jackson. Then we have Aaron Rodgers, who's a bad man, in the words of Stephen A. Smith. You got Dalvin Cook, who had his career high in rushing versus South Florida. You have Marvin Jones, who also played well versus the Packers in the Packers and Lions matchup. And you had Trevor Siemian, who threw 4 TDs in his matchup versus the Bengals this week.
Game against Washington. Well, I think the force is with him. Oh my! Alex Gordon on Star Wars Day hits it up into the stars. And in the second,
Les Miles. Les Miles was fired over the weekend after being 2-2 and losing in a heartbreaking loss to Auburn, and really is the end of an era. Les Miles tied for second place all time for most consecutive seasons with at least 8 wins in SEC history with Steve Spurrier, only behind the 12 that Bear Bryant had when he was at Alabama. And I know people remember, Nick Saban so vividly when he was at LSU as well. He was there for 5 years before Les Miles got the job, after Nick Saban chose to take the job at Miami and chose to coach the Dolphins for a little while. But Les Miles is pretty much the face of LSU football. He has more pros in the NFL over his time at LSU than any other team in the SEC. Has just as many bowl wins as any other coach that's ever coached LSU. LSU history has 7 bowl wins out of his 11 seasons. And he also won a national championship in 2007, which gave LSU their 3rd championship in their school's history. Also had another championship appearance in 2011 when they got smacked by Alabama 21-0 in a rematch of their low-scoring matchup early in the year, which was 9-6 that LSU wound up winning. So I don't really get it. Nick Saban thinks that it was very disrespectful, and he was very astonished that Les Miles got fired in the middle of the season after all that he's done for LSU football. He put LSU football back on the map. LSU has always been a football school. That's been their niche. But they kind of been on a downslide until Nick Saban came, and even though they were good, they didn't really capture the same excellence that they had until Les Miles came. Les Miles, 3rd year, won a national championship, went to 2 national championship games, won several big bowl games, and he really put his stamp on that team. You got players in the NFL coached by Les Miles, Odell Beckham Jr., Jarvis Landry, Tyrann Mathieu, Morris Claiborne. There's been a lot of dogs at LSU, and they're all been because of that one guy, the Mad Hatter, the man who loves him some white caps. That guy is Les Miles. And it'd be real interesting to see where does he go from here after leaving a team that was known for football, that was molded and shaped in his vision, and his unconventional play calling, his gutsy, grimy defenses that he coached, how would that matriculate as he moves on to the next phase of his life or potentially his next coaching job? That's Inside 380 with Les Miles and LSU football. We'll be back with Chris Bosh and the end of the Big Three era down in South Beach.
This play that just happened in Buffalo, Tyrod Taylor out of the shotgun on 3rd and 22, so you got to go deep here. He does. Patrick Peterson on that side of the field. One-handed interception for one of the best in the business. Maybe that was the play that Arizona needed to get them going, although starting their offensive drive on their own 10-yard line, but an all-pro player making a huge...
Hello, we're back, and this time we're going to talk about what Dan Le Batard described as the ending of the Big Three era. See, Le Batard said, and I totally agree, if you told me years ago that when the Big Three was done, that LeBron James would go back to Cleveland, D-Wade would no longer be in the Miami Heat uniform, and that Chris Bosh would physically not be able to play basketball ever again, I would have thought you was joking. I literally could have flipped the coin 1,000 times, and I probably would have got that side of the coin only once. Obviously, that's not how a coin flip works, but let's level with me, people. Point blank, slim chances. Now, as far as Chris Bosh, should he retire, which I believe he should, because the worst thing in the world would be if Chris Bosh is playing on that court knowing that he is not able to play at NBA standards due to his medical conditions, and he would just pass away on the court. Literally, a life-threatening experience could happen in front of our eyes, and no one wants to see that. Chris Bosh needs to take care of his family, he needs to take care of himself, and no one wants to see that happen to him. He's a 2-time NBA champ, 11-time All-Star. NBA rank from ESPN ranked him as the number 86 player of all time as far as top 100 players. So I think it's pretty evident that he's already cemented the legacy that he needs to make in basketball. He's Toronto's all-time leading scorer, and Miami Heat fans alike, and myself for many of years, will remember Chris Bosh as, you know, the slinky 6'11" guy that can shoot with the best of them. Shoot the three, shoot mid-range, could post up, could beat people off the dribble, could pass the ball. When he was in Toronto, was a hellacious rebounder, 2010 guy, and a guy that was an integral part of 4 teams that went to the finals and 2 teams that won the championship, back-to-back championship, and a team that not only was a champion, but 27 straight games, and also had the second best winning streak in NBA history. See, Ray Allen doesn't hit the shot unless Chris Bosh doesn't have the rebound. Now, blood clots are life-threatening, and for him to play like that, it just wouldn't be in his best interest. It wouldn't behoove him to do that. Now, Pat Riley said his career in Miami is probably over, and I agree, Pat. I think it's best just to not let him play. Now, I know Chris Bosh is adamant. When you're a guy at that high of a level of sport, you just believe that you can't let it end like that. But look at Brandon Roy, look at Greg Oden, look at many other players. Sometimes you just gotta learn when it's over. It's sad to say. No one wants to see their career end, especially on a sour note like this one. You just gotta hang it up, Chris Bosh. The fans around the world love you too much to see you do that to yourself. Your family loves you too much to see you do that to yourself. Also, before I end the show, I want to give condolences to the Miami Marlins and the whole family of Jose Fernandez. He passed away just yesterday on Sunday. And when I woke up and I saw it, it was just a shock because he's 24, I'm 20, so it just puts everything in perspective. He had a bright future ahead of him. He was a great baseball player, 2-time NL All-Star. And it's just sad to see somebody who had such a big impact, not only on the Miami community, but the Hispanic community and all Cubans alike, to just pass away at such a young, tender age. Also, Arnold Palmer passed away at 87 yesterday. And Arnold Palmer is not just known for his drinks, quote-unquote, lemonade iced tea. He's known for being one of the greatest golfers of all time and just being a hot, big influence in the golfing community and sports community all alike. They will be missed, and I just wanted to touch on that before I end the show. Also, unlike I normally do, I just want to give you a note. Y'all may be mad at me, but Lamar Jackson isn't the 380 Player of the Week for the 3rd time in a row. It's someone else. Someone who kind of surprised me this week. I'm not going to tell you exactly who, but he threw one beautiful pass to a receiver in stride that just was the kicker. He dominated a dominant defense this Sunday. All right, he's an NFL quarterback. I can't tell you which one, though. That's Inside 380 with your host, Lamar L.A. Smith. I'll be back next week, folks. 380, LA, both out.
Big play on a 3rd and 11 with 4:32 to go. Denver up by 5. Simeon steps up. Simeon dials up the deep ball. Demaryius Thomas, he's got it! Touchdown! Demaryius Thomas breaks away from Lewis Harris. Trevor Simeon, 4th touchdown of the day. That one covers 55 yards.
Demaryius Thomas, and this basically is a rebound by Thomas. Watch as he bodies Lewis Harris to the inside and reaches for the ball. Tight coverage.